where the wrestling truth resides.
So Cody Rhodes was on the Two Bears One Cave podcast. I don't know if you guys know that one. It's with Tom Segura and Burt Kreischer, big comedians in the space, selling out arenas, shit like that. They host a podcast with each other, with a bunch of guests. I think this is the second time they've had a wrestling guest on. I think the first one was Ric Flair. They might have had other ones. I can't remember. But Burt Kreischer is a humongous wrestling fan. Tom is not. Tom has actually had some shots back at him for the things that he said about wrestling.
An adult watching Puppy Dog Pals.
So many guys who love wrestling. I think wrestling is for fucking but
it is.
But so many people
so many people
it is the fucking stupidest shit. And I think you're a fucking tool. If you're like,
yeah,
hey man, it's not fake. It's fucking fake, and you're a fucking idiot.
So, I think he's changed his mind about a bunch of that shit though. But we're gonna get into it with starting off with Cody Rhodes talking about Mike Tyson.
It's with Mike Tyson, and I will treasure this moment always. He was I think he was just ringside for a match of mine. He was presenting the championship after the match, but he saw other wrestlers backstage.
Yeah.
And he seemed very, and I don't want to say out of it, because he was the sweetest, wonderful person. It was very nice to talk to him, but he wasn't saying much. And he just kind of seemed to be, I guess, deer in headlights a little bit. And he's watching all these guys oil up, and they're using the bands, and they're pumping up and all that. And he just looked at me. And I'm getting ready to go out.
Yeah.
I'm getting ready to go out. And at the time, I was also in a management position, so I'm directing something, some shot, something. He looked at me and just said, "Do I need oil?" And those are those moments where it's like, it's Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
I want this relationship to be good. So I'm in my mind thinking, what's he thinking? Does he think he does need the oil? Well, then I said, yeah, sure.
Oil up.
And then so he took his shirt off. So now Mike never had to have his shirt off for this. Mike's standing there just looking at me with his shirt off. And I remember he had like no belt on his jeans too. It's just a lot happening. And this is the greatest fighter, potentially ever, and someone I really, really like. But he just took the bottle and kind of went like,
"You do it."
To me. Yeah. And he put a little on his hands and he put some on his chest, but then he turned around. Sure. So just oiled him up. And he looked good, and I've put oil on another wrestler before. This wasn't the strangest thing, but the weirdest thing was right after that, he just threw his shirt right back on over it.
No.
And I thought,
that's not the point.
What was the
oil.
point? You know, like are you prepping for you take the shirt? You know, a lot of wrestlers might think at this point I'm going to rip my shirt or whatever, but you're not doing anything like that tonight. And I do think he actually got his shirt off at one point, but yeah, I oiled him up. I always felt good about that decision,
dude,
to oil up Mike.
That might be the best story that's ever been told on this podcast.
It's fucking fantastic.
That
might be my favorite fucking
like,
story I've
what
ever heard.
what kind of person would I have been to say?
No, yeah, of course.
Mike.
So what the actual fuck? That's good, but I still say my favorite Cody story is the one he told about the Undertaker.
The Rumble?
The Rumble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he's like, "Oh god, this guy's gonna beat the piss out of me." Throw a drop kick. Like, oh.
He's like, yeah, all this stuff happened, and it was like 0.13 seconds have gone by.
Right.
And I'm like, when he said that, I'm like, I've been in matches like that where it's like, good example of that was it was me, Monty Aries, and Lee Miller at a fair show, and we did a bunch of stuff, and then we hear Liza go, 5 minutes has gone by, and all three of us looked at each other. Well, what the actual fuck?
Oh, we did everything we called.
But it's like we've done like the entire match. 5 minutes has gone by. I'm like, and we had to go like I think we had to go 12. And I looked at Monty. I'm like, Monty and I just kind of locked eyes and we're like, wing it.
Wing it, yeah, exactly. That's all you can do right now. You say that's your favorite one. Let's see if this one compares to it. His Mark Henry story.
A fun moment with Mark where I was in a tag match in Cape Girardeau at what's called the Show Me Center. and it was a 6-man, and I'm in there, and Triple H, and I think MVP are Mark's partners, but Triple H is really leading this match. Crowd wasn't great. It was one of those where the crowd wasn't great. There's daylight coming in the arena.
Oh, we've never experienced that before.
So
Keep going.
it's like a matinee show. Daylight's coming in the ring, and it's the only time I've ever seen it. And God bless, I learned a lot from Mark, and I hope he doesn't get mad at me for sharing this. But I watched Mark on the apron fall asleep. Seriously? I watched as we're in the middle of bumping all this stuff, and we're the bad guys, right? We're the bad guys, and I remember watching Mark just slowly. And then he come back to life. And when we eventually tagged him, there was not this, we'd like to call it the hot tag, could be the most exciting 15 seconds of the night. There was not this big response, not this big reaction. I remember Triple H, who's now our chief creative officer, just screaming at Mark, like, "Come on, Mark, this is the coldest tag I've ever." They're having this conversation and I just I couldn't believe it. But we used to joke because Mark had 3-6 Mafia sing a song. It was like, "Beat him up, break his neck," and we would just add terms to it, like beat him up, break his neck, get sweaty, take a nap, and just like just because I saw him do it on the apron, I never forgot it. He's great though. Mark is great.
Wow.
Oh,
Apparently Mr. Hughes used to fall asleep a lot because he had narcolepsy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so he'd be standing in the ring apron, all of a sudden. I think Jericho. I get it. I think it was Jericho was actually like they're tagging, and he just fell asleep, and he's like.
So Tony used to tell a story about Mark. This is when they were traveling during
Henry.
Yeah, Henry. Yeah, that
too many pronouns, pal.
What?
The too many pronouns, pal.
Yeah, true. That time that Tony was managing Mark Henry, and they would drive together, travel together, whatever. And one day, I guess Tony was trying to get Mark to eat healthier. So Tony was just like, "Yo, Mark, we gotta go get something healthy, kid. We gotta eat some, some salads and whatnot." And Mark's just looking at Tony, being like, "Tony, I ain't no fucking rabbit. I want some fucking chicken." And he's just like, "Well, Mark, you gotta eat some salad." And he's like, "No, I want to go to fucking KFC and eat some fucking chicken." And I was like, exactly how you would say it to Tony. And Tony would be the one driving, and he would just be like, "Oh, all right, whatever you say, kid. Whatever makes you feel better." Like such a Tony thing. You could just never do. Like Mark was just his own person.
Yeah, right.
It's like Larry at the show the other night when he's like, "Oh yeah, Tony loves the chicken here," and he's like, Larry, the chicken is awesome.
The chicken is great,
Oh,
we're
I
gonna
love
get
Tony.
kicked off YouTube.
We gotta get Tony Atlas on the chicken. We gotta get Tony Atlas on the podcast.
If we can't get him fully on the pod, I know. Well, like you said earlier in the podcast, it's funny because Tony will walk in to a locker room and start telling you a story, and the entire locker room will go quiet and just do this.
Maybe we'll have to do it for Patreon. Like we're doing it out of the show, we'll just do fucking Tony Atlas.
Story time with Tony.
Yeah, exactly.
Tony, we already know what his fetish is. So.
yeah. He likes to post that on Twitter.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, you filthy animals.
Tony, what do you think of Rocky Johnson? Rocky Johnson was a son of a bitch.
Yeah.
That's Homer.
You stole my boots. By the way, I just made that up. I don't know if that's true or not. So please, the family of Rocky Johnson, don't come after me for that one.
He's gonna take this podcast down because of you. Thank you.
Dang it.
Cody talking about AEW.
We have something from the show.
Oh, fuck off. I know exactly what this is.
What is it?
I know exactly what this is.
Just for Cody.
Bert Krishna.
Bert Krishna.
Kreischer.
They
Bruce
messed my name
Kreischer.
up.
Me and Snoop.
Rosario Dawson, Jennifer Nettles, Cody Rhodes, and Bert Kreischer.
Oh man, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I think he started doing it. What's that guy's name? I know that guy.
I can't accept any knowledge.
Oh wait, draw that back for him. There. Hold on. Listen to this.
9/8/7 Central on TBS. Bruce Kreischer.
Well, that was
He was-
that was Chris Jericho who said it
Was
wrong.
Chris Jericho?
That was Chris who said it wrong.
Purposely?
I want to say at that point it had become a bit, perhaps at that point, but also, and this is not to, this is not to bury what I was doing at the time and where I was, but Discovery now, or I guess at the time it was Warner Media, sent me to do that show to help with the other show, and I was honored to do it and excited to be picked, but wrestling has a bad habit, and this is in all companies everywhere, of not understanding we're in a bubble, guys. There's a whole outside world.
Yeah.
There's multiple mediums of entertainment.
Yeah.
Don't be in a bubble. Like, don't be afraid to do a little crossover thing. Yeah, pure hardcore wrestling fans, they may not love it, but there's something on the show that's for them already.
Yeah.
And that was, I'm not bearing where I formerly was, but not understanding like the power, the magnitude, again, of new eyeballs and of crossing over. And also, I hate gatekeeping when it comes to what we do. That's one of the things I do really like about pro wrestling fans and sports entertainment, and I wish the locker rooms would feel this more. We welcome, please, if you've never been before, because I know, Tom, you're not a big wrestling fan.
This isn't true. I don't know where you've heard this.
There's some quotes out there about,
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
But I would say, I would say to you is like, hey, if you ever dip your toe in, and this is not a shill for WrestleMania 41, it could be WrestleMania 42, it could be WrestleMania 45. Come to it, and if there's not something that you're like, all right,
No, I get
so
it.
Cody, love you, brother, but I can't afford to go to a fucking WrestleMania. Are you
Not
paying my
now.
WrestleMania?
Not now. The prices now are fucking ridiculous.
Bro.
They're double the prices they were last year. Cody Rhodes talking about his father.
Like, I'm always fascinated by, boys growing up with, regardless of if someone's dad is an athlete.
Yeah.
Usually boys either go, I want to be just like my dad, or I don't want to be anything like my dad, right? Like, and when you get to athletes, like, obviously there's children of athletes who go, I want to do that. Like, let's say in like the NFL.
Yeah.
And, there's some that do, and then there's some that you're like, you just can't do it. You're not an NFL player, right?
Right.
Or NBA. In wrestling, like as a kid, were you I want to be a wrestler, like as a young kid, or were you kind of like, it's just what my dad does, whatever?
So he brought me to a show when I was really young, and he was an older dad. He was 39 when he had me. He was executive producer, he was behind the scenes. It was a wrestling booker. He was helping the creative. So he wasn't in his full prime. But I remember when he brought me to that show, it was UTC Chattanooga. It's a building WWE still runs to this day. And it was Brad Armstrong, this guy hit an arm drag. And just to hear the reaction and the women screaming out of their mind, it was one of those, I always tell people I have no interest in the inside, behind the scenes of wrestling, because I lived it.
Yeah.
I like to be out.
Yeah.
I like to be out there in the crowd. That narrative is what I enjoy. After that, there was nothing I wanted to do more.
And you let it be known.
Oh my gosh. I mean, nothing.
And was he like great, or was it like, you got like a long way to go, kid? Like, you're going to have to.
I needed to earn his trust, because so many second generations and third generations in the pro wrestling sports entertainment space, they burn out, they turn out bad. I needed to earn his trust, and what I thought I could earn his trust with was actual folk style wrestling, Greco-Roman, freestyle, all that. Because he had never done that. He was straight up promo entertainment, great athlete, but he had never been on the mat before. He didn't even know how it was scored. He would come to my tournaments as a kid, and I'd see him for a takedown, hold up like, but then it would be a 2-point. And he didn't know.
He didn't know.
And I was obsessed with it. Full Blown Vision Quest, if you've ever seen that movie. Just I dug in. I did summer camps with Ken Shertow, Granby VHS tapes I'd watch. I made it my whole life.
You loved it.
Loved it. And once I ended up winning a state championship as a junior, and I had gone undefeated, and I'd gone on team nationals and made my way around. Once that happened, I think whatever I told him I wanted to do, he was good with it.
He was good.
He was good. I didn't have a curfew anymore. My sister still complains about it to this day.
Yeah.
Like senior year, he's fine.
Yeah.
Where is he? He's been gone for 3 days. Like, he's fine,
Reminds me of growing up in northern Maine. Where is he? He'll be fine.
He'll be fine. I have a like 2 more clips, but we're gonna skip that. But I really want to talk about the pec injury, because I heard the full story of what happened, until this podcast. So this is the pec injury that Cody had. If I can find it, there it is.
I want to talk about your pec injury.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what happened to his pec?
I know it's a pectoral tear, right?
Show the match, Hell in the Cell, right? Or show the picture. I didn't mean to direct anyone in that moment.
Do it.
No, please.
Yeah, there it was.
That's gnarly.
Yeah, my mom thought it was makeup.
I thought it was
And
makeup.
you stay wrestling?
What the fuck?
So it's a rare time. That's probably it's a very rare time. The beginning of the match, we had over 10,000 people in Allstate Arena in Chicago. In the beginning of the match, I took that jacket off, and it was the weirdest feeling I've ever felt performing in front of a live audience ever. They were grossed out,
Yeah.
and almost concerned.
God.
Jesus, bro.
And I remember they said,
Are
like,
you in horrific pain here?
yes, and I didn't have anything to supplement it, and I lied about it. And this is probably a prime example of they'll never let this happen again.
Of course. And how much prior to the match did you have the injury?
So I was talking to Bert about this earlier, about 5 days, I think it's 5 days is over the course of the bruise, like we call it, like it grew into the Dumbledore arm. It just like kept overtaking my body. It was small, it was in there.
Oh fuck! This is gonna fuck me.
Yeah,
up.
So about this is gonna definitely screw you up. So, but 5 days before, I walk into my gym. It's super early in the morning. I'm really just, I don't know. I got an open cup of coffee and flip flops on. I'm clearly not there to seriously train.
That's Bert style. Go ahead.
Right. So open cup of coffee.
Gets worse.
Flip flops on, and it's just me and another guy. And all I was gonna do was chest that day. But this dude who's in this gym with me is absolutely eating me up, like mean mugging me. And I've never had a gym confrontation. Never. Like, he's just staring at me.
And you don't know him.
I don't know him,
Okay.
right? So he's doing all this CrossFit stuff. He's taking up 80 machines. There's 2 of us in there. It's not bothering me so much, but I get it. You're training for something, you know, I get it. So I go sit on the bench, and I remember thinking to myself, I'm going to show him.
Shit.
I'm going to show him.
No warm up?
So no warm up. I put 225 on the bar. It should have happened here. 225 is a lot for me to bench. So this should have happened here. I put 225 on the bar. I take it off. A little grimy, but I hit it down. I put it up. And I think, that didn't impress him. And this is where it all...
Are you doing reps with it?
No, I just hit one.
You hit one.
I hit one. Should have known then, since I'm not repping 225.
Yeah.
This is a bad call. So my max is, at the time, maybe 330. But I mean, that's with a full day's warm up.
training.
And
up
I
for it,
built up to it.
Yeah.
So I put 3 plates on. I go for the big 3 plates. Barefoot, open cup of coffee. I unrack it right away. They say it snaps, but I didn't feel a snap. It felt like Velcro ripping in my arm, and it goes no collars, so the bar goes like this. So now I'm trying not to be that guy, so I try to keep the bar. I drop it on this. That dude runs over to me. He goes, "Are you okay?" And he helps me get the bar and put it back on after that whole moment between us. And I remember him telling me, he goes, "Did you just tear your shoulder or your pec?" And I go, "Oh no, I don't think so." I went in the aerobics room, and when I don't know if you torn the bicep. Did you ever tear the pec?
No.
So it's gone. So basically, it hangs
You see it like-
hangs like a boob.
Yeah.
The tendon that pulls it to the arm hangs like a boob. And I'm seeing it, and my wife's like, "I don't think it's torn. Don't worry. Don't panic. I'm heading into my first main event for WWE since my return. This is just my dream here. I'm panicked." She said, "Don't panic. It's not torn." I get in a plank position, which I read, a quick Google search. That's how you can tell, and it falls. Right there, like fully fall. And I knew
what falls?
your pec muscle. So there's no connection to
So
your
it's just
arm.
hanging.
So it just hangs. So like it's.
I think I'm out of this bet. I think I'm out of this
yeah.
bet. I can't do this.
He has a bench bet.
You're getting to 315, right?
Yeah, I did 295 twice yesterday.
Oh my gosh, you're right there.
And I know, but
You're
I
right
don't
there.
want my tit to hang.
But you should do. I mean, I've seen a number of pec tears. You should do a gradual warm up that day.
Oh my
get
gosh.
yourself nice and warm for it. Don't just go over.
I just
there.
want to just get out of it now.
Also hydrate. I'm no water in my body.
Oh,
Like
I'm a
that
big
thing was
hydrator.
meant to be snapped. And the doctor, because I lied through my teeth to get into this match. I had strength in my arm, just a little bit, but I lied through my teeth to get to this. And after, they kept saying, "Well, it can't get any worse. It can't get any worse, so we should let him wrestle."
So wait, did you have to get
Dude,
surgery?
I love-
You had to get surgery?
Yeah, I was out for 7 months. So, and they, of course, WWE in true WWE fashion, they filmed the surgery. and there's just a shot somewhere. My wife has seen it of as soon as the guy opened me up. This is after hearing like, can't get any worse.
Yeah.
Can't get any worse. Well, clearly this match that went 25 plus minutes with a table bump and all this, maybe it built some swelling up. This dude cuts me open, straight to the ceiling, just blood. Just shoot straight up, just straight. And my Brandy's just watching, you know, just couldn't believe it. Yeah, so it might maybe get a little swelling involved there.
Wow, it's fucking crazy.
That is absolutely insane.
That's crazy. Yeah, that was a moment that because we all heard that he tore it and we thought that he was going to be out of the match, and he was like, "Oh, he's going to wrestle."
And
and literally, yeah, he was saying like that. Fucking as soon as that jacket came off, he was like, "Oh my god, he's really going to fucking do this." Like I thought it was makeup too at first. I'm like, "Oh, they're just doing it for the fucking story." He's like, "No, he fucking legit tore it." He's like, "Oh yeah." Oof.
Next to me,
Yeah.
So I'd say bend your legs and not your back. Yeah. And then can I bail your hat, or is it gonna?
No.
So if I pull you in,
Okay.
yeah. See, that's where it gets tricky. Yeah. And then we go a little to the left.
But give him a little muscle.
Oh, my leg's cramping.
No, you're okay. Oh my God. Are you okay?
My leg's cramping.
Well, that was just the start. And then how was it? So we fall. No, we fall. So we jump.